Hello everyone, I'm going to briefly talk about my side of the story when it comes to fix the RML document. First, I want to mention I am only going to be talking about myself. I am not going to be defending or attacking Lucky in this. I want to stay neutral. There are reasons as to why, which I will go over in a little bit, but let me talk about the biggest part of the document about me. There is a section briefly talking about me, and I quote, "We believe Just Yoshi has similar ideals and values as you, and him replacing you will result in changing nothing," end quote. This you in question was Lucky, and they're saying if I replace Lucky, nothing will change. This assumption made about me is completely wrong. I have been communicating for each person behind the document, and before the document was sent out, a couple people did not agree with this statement, but it was still in the document. And since I've been communicating with all of them, some of them who did have a problem with me about this issue had changed their minds fully and want me to be the list leader in the future. But I will still respond to this statement so everyone has read it, can see my point of view. I am not trying to be or becoming Lucky in any way. Just because I agree with a couple of his takes doesn't mean that I will become him. A long time ago, Lucky and I used to argue quite a bit in public, and it was better to take it to staff rooms or just DMs. If you want to look up such an example, you can look up Claw's Carnage or Untouched Barrier. To keep it brief, the main argument was that there's these two modes in this game, Untouched Barrier and Nightmare, and we could not agree which mode was placed higher in the other. And it was a difference of just one placement. So if that gives you an idea how small that argument was, then you can imagine about the bigger stuff that happened in the RML that we probably also argue quite a bit as well. And that Claw's Carnage incident was a big argument for both of us. And because of something like that, I think it was just better if we just kept it in DMs. And the people who made this assumption about me did not know about this, about our past arguments, which is understandable, but the issue I have with that as well is that they never communicated me with it. They never asked me, why do I always agree with Lucky? They never asked that directly to me. This is the first time I have responded to this. And I also want to say, even if I agree with Lucky on what he said, you can convince me if I done something wrong. You just need to talk to me. Just please, privately send me a DM telling me about the issues that's going on, and even if I agree with it, try to convince me. And while I might argue about it, I am more than happy to be changed my mind if you just talk to me. Now, the reasons why I am staying neutral is because Lucky has been a good friend of mine, has been the only person I felt like treated me as an admin. The only time I recall felt like I was an admin without Lucky's presence was when I had to remove someone from staff back in March. And they only talked to me about this, about needed to remove this staff member, was due to Lucky being offline. There might be another incident or two, but that's all I can recall from the past 24 hours of me trying to make this video, and that is also outside of Lucky's influence. In issue 2, I was part of the group discussion with 3 other members, and I want to clear up some information that could be missing from it. This group was made back in August the 31st and didn't finish until September the 9th. This was nearly a week and a half of us barely communicating back and forth and coming up with stuff not everyone agreed upon. Imagine thinking about that one thing for 9 days straight. The reason why I agree with that point system was because of fatigue. I cannot say that for everyone else involved, but after the 9th day, I was pretty exhausted of having to make point systems and keep reworking it for hours and hours at a time. And a lot of suggestions, I like the suggestions, including some of my own suggestions I made. I end up not liking them at all. And there's one specifically that's mentioned, quote, "There were multiple suggestions, and one of them all being very supported by those present in the group chat," end quote. Not true. I did not agree on it. I don't know who said this, but I want to make it very clear, I did not agree with this. The main reason why I didn't agree with it is because if you look at the middle of the section, you can see the points are not there for the middle modes, and it seems like the lower modes are easier to get the points to take over the middle modes. Like, for example, hardest for 1 mode in day 9, I don't think those modes should be worth more points than day 5 impossible. and I think it doesn't give enough separation from the middle modes. I agree with top of these modes, but I agree with the middle section whatsoever and towards to the bottom. This group made in question was supposed to get done within a day or two, and it ended up taking 9 days because of it. And I'm willing to work on it again, but I don't think there will be a great solution to come out from this. But I'm sure if given enough time and have more people involved, I'm sure we can figure something out that we can all at least like. Now, one last small thing, since it does affect me and my work, and at least in this part, all the work for at least that little bit has been dumped in my lap because of it. So that's why I'm going to be talking about this, since it does affect me. In the conclusion towards the end, it says, quote, "As far as the RML staff is concerned, we will not go forward with any responsibilities given to us until our ideas and respects are given," end quote. As I was talking to each person involved in this document, while this is the reason for some members, but it isn't all members. Some of the members I talked to, the reason why they cannot do those responsibilities is due to other influence in life, other opportunities in life, and schoolwork or other things on top of that. Even one person wanted to communicate those reasons, but wasn't able to communicate that. And because of that, it wasn't in the document. And it made it seem like everyone wanted to not do those responsibilities is because of those issues, when it is not true. I am not going to make assumptions about that, but it is up to you guys how you want to interpret it. Overall, this document tries to paint me in the picture. I wasn't at all in any sections without asking me about it. While I do understand as to why they want to ask me, because it was secretive and I couldn't exploit it, even though I don't think I would have, just because I would have been clueless. But instead, they made these assumptions about me, which I believe is the wrong step, and in my opinion, makes the document overall a bad look. A document probably needs to be re-examined to make sure if other places are as truthful as those assumptions about me, and a couple other things, but I'm not going to go over that, and I'll leave it up to you guys to investigate yourself. One final thing, I want you guys to give me a chance to be a list leader. Hopefully this video has convinced everyone in the community to give me a chance whatever lucky steps down. I am more than happy to work out these issues now or later, and any issues that has not been said in the document. I want the RML to be a better place for everyone.